Hello everyone, it's Skil here from the Grim Reapers, and today I'll be going through a short hardware review video for Next Level Racing's new HF8 Pro haptic feedback pad. In the background I'll play some footage of myself flying a short CAS mission on the Grim Reaper Stoneburner server whilst using the HF8 Pro. Now, before we get into the review itself, I should probably tell you that I have always considered haptic feedback pads and similar haptic devices as a bit gimmicky and not really something that I would consider actually adds any immersion to your flight sim experience. I mean, I don't even use the rumble function on gamepads or any of my WinWing flight gear. So when Next Level Racing reached out and asked if I would be interested in doing a review for the upcoming Pro version of their HF8 haptic feedback pad, I thought, sure, why not, but I probably won't like it. So for the purposes of full disclosure, Next Level Racing sent me the HF8 Pro for the purposes of this review. However, as always, they did not ask for any favourable comments, only that I give my honest opinions and feedback. So with that out of the way, let's get on with it. Before I get to the unboxing, let's have a look at some of the information about the HF8 Pro from the Next Level Racing website. I won't go over everything, but I'll point out some of the key features. You can pause the video and have a look at the details, or you can go direct to the store site, which I will put a link for in the description below. The HF8 Pro haptic feedback pad is a full seat cover. It has 200% increase in torque and over 400% more powerful motors. I assume those numbers are compared to the previous non-pro version of the HF8. It has 8 individual customizable feedback zones. The HFS software runs at up to 75 FPS, so boasts near instant response times for the feedback to the pad. The pad cover is made from SimAero breathable mesh, which is covering thick foam pads. The HF8 Pro arrived well packaged and double boxed. The outer box to protect it during shipping, with the retail packaging inside, which displayed all of the product details. Inside the box, there was a smaller box containing the power supply, a choice of plug attachments for use depending on your region. Then we have the HF8 Pro itself, contained in a plastic bag along with the manual. Having a look at the pad itself, the top cover is made of this breathable mesh, and the foam padding does feel pretty thick. There are these straps which are used to secure the pad to your chair. Here you can see I have it mounted to the Next Level Racing flight seat. However, the straps are adjustable and have quite a lot of material to play with, so the pad can be mounted to a variety of chairs and seats. And here you can see it also fits my normal chair, no problem. Once fitted, it is very comfortable to sit on, but just something that might be worth bearing in mind is that the HF8 Pro is pretty thick, so it does mean that your sitting position will be slightly higher than it was without it. The HF8 Pro has a couple of options for connecting it to your PC. There are some audio jack connectors, and there is a USB Type-A connection. To be honest, I haven't used the audio jack connectors, but as far as I can tell, they are for using with games or applications that don't support a direct connection via the USB, and in essence mean that the HF8 Pro will generate vibrations simply using the audio output from the PC. As I say, I haven't used that. I simply connected the HF8 Pro using the USB connection, connected the power supply, and installed the HFS software from Next Level Racing, and that was it. Pretty much plug and play. The HF8 Pro has a small control box attached. It has a rotary control wheel which also has a push button on-off power function. The rotary can be used to control the overall strength of the haptic feedback. This can also be controlled from within the software. Talking of which, let's have a look at the software. When you open the HFS, you will see this screen. You can click on the options and set those up as desired. Back to the main screen, to the left you have a representation of the HF8 Pro showing the position of the 8 haptic feedback motors or zones. There's a slider showing the intensity level and the active connection type. Here it is shown as the USB. To the right you see a list of the supported games and software. Scroll down a bit and here we have DCS. When you click on the game you want to set up, it shows you the feedback options available, such as here you can see the landing gear, flaps, etc. I'll come back to that in just a second. Firstly, you can see here that the rotary wheel in the control box can be used to adjust the overall feedback intensity. Coming back to the tabs, you can activate each individual option as per your preference. You can also choose which feedback motors or zones you want to be activated in response to an option, as well as set the specific intensity for each option. You can also set the overall intensity slider here in the software. Haptic feedback is not something that I can easily show you in a video. Here I am flying using the HF8 Pro. Can't you tell? No? Well, let's try this. Here I will activate the upper rear feedback zone and let you hear the vibration. And on the seat base, I will try and show you a visual representation of the feedback. I mean, it's not great, but it is science and it gives you an idea. Maybe. Whilst we're talking about the software side of things, I want to mention something else about it before I move on to the conclusion section of the video. Whilst the Next Level Racing HFS software makes the HF8 Pro pretty much plug and play, it's very easy and intuitive to use and has some great features for using the HF8 Pro. I found that the number of feedback options specifically for DCS were pretty limited. I was aware that there were other third-party software options out there which made much more use of the telemetry data which DCS kicks out. So I tried one of the other more popular options, SimShaker for aviators. I will quickly show you what I'm talking about. Here, as before, are the feedback options for DCS in the HFS software. Now here are the feedback options available for DCS in the SimShaker for aviators software. Not only are there more options in general, there are options for specific aircraft types, as well as for each specific aircraft. The good news is, I've spoken to representatives from Next Level Racing who stated that the HFS software has been rebuilt from the ground up and is in the process of being added to with every update. They also stated that as the software evolves, it will have more and more feedback options added to make the most out of the telemetry coming from whichever game or sim you're playing. The Next Level Racing HF8 Pro is currently on sale for the price shown, which is correct as of early May 2025. Well, I must say, having been a bit sceptical to start with, I was very pleasantly surprised at the level of immersion that was added to my flight sim experience using the HF8 Pro. The intensity of the feedback can be tuned to your preference, from the slightest vibration to simulate engine RPM, to a little rumble to let you know when you're starting to stall, to a kick in the butt when you're firing your cannons. As I've been mostly flying helicopters recently, I absolutely loved having the feeling of the blades turning. I found it particularly useful for giving feedback when moving through transitional lift, or giving me a warning when I was about to enter VRS. The feedback itself is instant and precise, and the motors are more than powerful enough to really shake things up. I've never used the original HF8 in the past, or any other haptic feedback pad for that matter, so I cannot comment on how the HF8 Pro compares. But I am very happy to report that the Pro feels great, and I would be more than happy to highly recommend it to anyone looking to add the next level of immersion to their flight sim experience. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this review, and I'll catch you later.